Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to our stock market review where before the market opened today I'm going give an overview on the week where we stand, especially on the market spread indicators and the major index. And at the Discord channel we are going to have the stock charts for the week also, so it can help you navigate on this crazy and insane market. So let's start with the market rate indicators and see where we stand right now. Looking for the first one, new highs minus new lows. So this indicator basically measures the number of stocks that are making new highs minus the stocks that are making new lows. Pretty much bullish for now, since we had the big correction on last year on March. We have been seeing a kind of bull market where we have more stocks making new highs than new lows. So this continues pretty much bullish, at least for now. The same indicator online completes what I've been saying. Bull case scenario, the slopes pointing up. This indicator is already above the March 2020 correction and the February 2020 highs here. We are already above that, the slopes pointing up. So we continue to have the bull case scenario. When I flip bearish and when I'll be looking for bigger correction, when we have something like this, a bear cross, the slopes pointing down, the line below the moving average, and from there we can have a big correction as we had on last year. For now, complete full bull case scenario. Looking for the advanced decline issues, also bullish, but the oscillators start crossing into the negative field. So what does that mean? Means that we can have a pullback here. We have room, okay? We have room for a pullback into the middle of the range, or even if into the lower support of the Bollinger Band. So we have room for pullback. Looking for the McLaren oscillator, middle of nowhere. We closed last week slightly bearish on the bear camp, but we have lots of room for downside until we get oversold. Okay, we can also go up and lots of room before we enter overbought. So we are in the middle of the range waiting. Right now the futures are on the red. If they continue in the red, we have room for more downside this week before entering oversold conditions. Okay, so that it's something to keep on watch. One of the yellow flags that's raising right now, it's the McLaren Summation Index. Why? We finished last week. Sorry, let me. We finished last week with a bear cross. Okay, so when we have a bull cross, it means that it favors to buy the pullbacks. When we have a bear cross kind of environment, it means that is wise to sell the rips. Okay, so we finished the week last week with a possible sell the rip environment. It's kind of bearish, but we need confirmation. We need continuation. We need to continue to see this indicator crossing down and going lower and fading before having a big outlook ahead of a bigger correction. Okay, but for now, bearish. Let's look for some more. There is no credit risk, at least for now. Fed is behind the wheel, controlling the Fed risk. Looking for the Dow. The Dow at the top of the Bollinger Band, and lots of potential for bigger pullback. We can go all the way into the middle of the range. We can go into the lower support of the Bollinger Band. So this move here it was pretty much insane. And we can have here a pullback very easily, in my opinion. We can have a pullback into the middle of the range or into the lower support of the Bollinger Band. But once again, we need to see it. We need to start seeing below last week lows. Last week lows will be my line in the sand, my support for the Dow. Looking for the weekly chart. We closed with a kind of a doji candle. That can be seen as a possible top, but once again, we need confirmation, at least a short-term top, but we need confirmation. Below last week lows, 31 285, we can pull back below 31k on the Dow, going back into the 30s, or even a further pullback back into 29,900 is a possible scenario, but once again, we need to see it. Looking for Nasdaq, it closed slightly above the middle of the range. We pull back into the middle of the range. We have room for downside. If we go below last week lows, Thursday lows, if we break below that, we can go into 13,100 as a possible support on the Nasdaq. But once again, we need to see it. Looking for the small caps. Small caps, the move that we have been seeing pretty much extent. We had a pullback last week. It was one of the yellow flags that I told you. I was looking, it was the SPY and the cubes were making higher highs, and small caps were making lower high. So that was a bearish divergence and something to be open-minded for a possible pullback. And we had it, okay? Right now, what we finished the week, and also one of the strongest names on Friday was small caps. And what I want to see, if last week lows on small caps are going to hold. If yes, and if we pull back and print a higher low, it means that we can have here a bullish divergence and small caps rip higher, okay? That's a possible scenario that I'll be looking. But if we break below last week lows, watch out, because we have room to go all the way into 217, 216. That's the first line, and below that we can go into 210. Okay, so something to keep open-minded, because that's a possible scenario, pull back into 216, 217, or even 210. But once again, we need to see it. Looking for the SP500 cash, exactly the same thing. At the top of the Bollinger Band, lots of room to go all the way to 3870s. Okay, that's a possible scenario. Retest on the breakout area, and we still have room to go all the way to 3800 as a possible support at the lower support of the Bollinger Band. Okay, the oscillator is also fading, almost giving a bear cross here. So something to keep open-minded going forward as a possible pullback. So where we stand right now, we continue on the bull camp, but that does not mean that we cannot have pullbacks. We had pullbacks on the past, okay, and every single time the dip was bought and we resume back into new all-time highs. So what I'll be looking, possible pullback, but we need confirmation. Last week lows, important key support. If last week lows hold and we start making higher lows, what I'll be looking, higher highs, so we can scalp some longs, but we need to see it. Right now, to start the week, we have a red morning with the major index all on the red. What is leading for downside is Nasdaq, and that's a yellow flag. If Nasdaq break down, we can have a bigger pullback ahead. Tech usually leads the market. We have been seeing tech lagging and fading this year with the yields going up. So let's see if this is something temporary or if it will continues into 2021 and calling for a bigger correction ahead. Okay, so stay tuned. We are going to have the stock charts for the day. Stay tuned at this Discord channel. Wish you all a great trading.